Once in a while I got a strong clap. Sometimes I got a weak one. But anyways, welcome to an episode of the Lookout Podcast. My guest today is Ivey Trampleasure, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, I practiced that like 5 times before we started rolling. But hey, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
For sure, yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm glad to be here, be able to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, kind of a fellow camper person, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Fellow dirtbag camper.
Dirtbag camper, yeah. Camper polar, I guess, you know, is the word I was looking for. Oh, let me get us some tea going. But, and on like short notice, so I really appreciate that because like we were just at work and I was like, man, I'd like to try out the stuff tonight. And then, and plus I wanted to talk to you and kind of pick your brain on some stuff. So, I guess, well, do you want to start like from where you're from or what would you like to share, I guess?
Yeah, I can start from where I'm from.
Yeah, let me pour you first.
Oh, sick. Well, I'm originally from Dallas area, moved around a whole bunch, but after high school I moved to Arizona. So Arizona's kind of home now. All my family lives there. So I claim Arizona.
Yeah. I don't blame. Yeah, Arizona's beautiful. Whereabouts in Arizona?
The White Mountains.
Oh,
Up kind of by like Sholo.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about that because I was talking about the Whitewater Baldy fire.
Yeah.
That's how my geography works with just fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there on that fire one time in that part of the world. Oh, this tea, I didn't even show you, but this is what we're having.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, a little evening in Missoula.
All right.
Yeah, no caffeine, so since we both got to work tomorrow,
Yeah.
we're just staring at the ceiling while we're trying to get to sleep. You'd be cursing me. Like that damn podcast and stupid tea. But this is really good. I think it's kind of chill. It kind of has almost like a root beery smell and taste to it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I wish I had something for you to stir it with, but that's
That'll be good. Thank you.
And yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave you the one with the sticker on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the old smoke trooper sticker. So I mean, I want to talk about that too, but I guess we'll tackle that right now. So you were encouraged by our friend Tyler Ware to try out the jump world, and me and you already kind of talked about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I need aviation time for my apprenticeship, and so I've been looking at rappelling. I think that's what I'm most interested in, and I haven't even like thought about jumping.
Yeah.
But
until now.
yeah, just talking to him, I don't know. He made it seem pretty cool. I'm like, it'd be worth a shot to at least like go by the base and talk to them and see what's up. But
Yeah, absolutely. I think my table just crumbled. Oh, there it is.
Is this tea gonna fall?
Oh, yeah, good catch. Oh, there it is.
Nice. Okay.
Much better. I was like, I knew something was missing. Still working on the kinks. Oh, there it is. Oh, we're back. Jeez. I saw that thing like take a little dive. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's all good, I guess. So you're talking about you'd rather repel, or you're leaning towards repelling. I don't say rather, right?
Yeah, just leaning towards it. I don't know. It's been just a goal of mine since like my first season. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. Someday I could rappel. And I figured being able to detail with the apprenticeship, I'm like, that'd be a good way to get my foot in the door.
Yeah.
See if I want to do it long term, which I feel like I do. But
Yeah, rappelling. Yeah, rappelling's good stuff. You know, it's I'm a big fan. Like one of the first fires when I met like a Type 1 person was the Gallant Repellers. And I think I've told the story a bunch, but they're just like way cooler than me. And I was like, I want to be that cool someday. And they all had aviators on. They were bumping music, and I was like super jealous.
where were you at then?
I was working at Whitehall then. That was back in like 2008.
Okay.
And, like first big fire. Didn't know what I was doing, and these guys, I think guys and gals that were jumping out of Gallatin were like just so chill. I was like, oh man, that's where I want to be. You know? I'm just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be. Out of all the confusion, I got 2 tea bags.
It'll be extra good.
Yeah, should be all right. I cheers you, but it'll burn our miles off.
I feel like rappelling's like a little secret, like in the fire world. Like nobody really like talks about it that much. I feel like they're having a lot of fun, whatever they're doing over there. Like I want to get in on that.
Especially some of the smaller bases like Gallatin, you know, like
Yeah.
they're up at that Shenango, I think is how you say it, up like between Big Sky and Bozeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super cool area.
Be a sweet spot.
Yeah. It's the river runs right past it, and it's like in the canyon. I don't know if there's cell phone service up there, so you're kind of like off in your own little world. But like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes down the road, just pop into Bozeman and get some cell phone service, and then go check out Big Sky. The park's not far away. It's a good spot.
Heck
Have you ever thought about Gallatin?
Yeah, I've been in contact with them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing by their base probably at the end of the month and just go talk to them. But I've heard really good things about them. So.
Yeah, they're great. And you want to jump on the West? We worked with them a few times. We're gonna do some cross training, and then I don't know. I mean, I ended up leaving, and like we didn't really end up talking about it too much after that. So yeah. So I guess rewind a little bit. You were in Arizona, and then how'd you end up getting fire?
So it's a long story.
Wow.
But so I started off. Well, I was in Arizona, and I was actually working as a park ranger.
Oh, really?
That was like the first job that I had outside. Like before that, I was just, I don't know, didn't really want to work. I was just into partying and just worked like crappy jobs, like all leading up to that. And I was like, oh, I like working hard. Like, gotta be outside. Like, this is pretty fun. And like, I had a lot of responsibilities too, and I wasn't used to that. I'm like, they trust me to like be driving this boat around on the park and like.
Oh, that's cool. What park?
It was Lyman Lake State Park.
Lyman Lake State Park. Never been. Sounds nice though.
So we're by like Eager, Arizona.
Oh, gotcha. I don't think I've ever been there either.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you get all this responsibility, and like you start to kind of like be like, oh, it's kind of cool being part of a team too, right?
Yeah. And I knew I wanted to do fire. I had a few friends that like worked at like volunteer fire departments and stuff, and I wanted to get on with them, but I was just really stuck in partying at the time, and like just in like kind of a bad friend group that just all wanted to party, and I knew that I needed to get out of Arizona. Like I just needed to go somewhere new and like restart my life. And I heard about Job Corps, and so I got on with them, and it was in like 2018, and I went over to the Centennial Job Corps in Idaho. They're shut down now, but they had like an advanced fire program.
Oh, cool.
Now I went there. I was so excited. It was like the middle of July though, and I was like, I want to come on and fight fire with you guys. And I was totally not in shape at all. Like I could barely do a push up. Like, and they were like, well, it's like halfway through the fire season. You got to do a trade before you could do fire. Oh. So I went there and I did welding, and I did that till fire season. And like right when fire season was coming up, the center was closing down. And
really?
Yeah. So I was like, dang, I came here pretty much just to fight fire.
Yeah.
And sorry, I got something in my throat.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. Go easy on that. It's going to be hot.
It's good though.
Yeah. Not bad, huh?
But
I didn't know. I've heard of it. I didn't know it was shut down though. Centennial.
Yeah, they closed in 2018. It was like actually, I think about it was like over like Christmas break. They announced that they were closing.
Oh, no.
And it was a bummer. I was like the student body president there, and I was just like...
Big deal.
I loved it there, and I was like really excited about their fire program. But when like March was rolling around, I heard that Trapper Creek Job Corps, that they had a guard school going on and that they had a great fire program.
Yeah.
So I got in contact with the AFMO over there and got transferred like right in time for guard school.
Oh, cool. Who's the AFMO at that time?
It was Justin Abbey.
It was Abbey? Yeah. He's the man.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get him on here and talk shop a little bit.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
he's so busy. He's so hard to lock down, even just like for like just a casual call, you know?
Yeah.
Guy's always moving.
Yeah. But it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. And I got to go through guard school with them. And by that time I was ready. I was like running the entire time I was at Job Corps. I was like running every day. I never hiked before. Yeah. But I was just like doing push-ups and like trying to get ready. And so I like crushed it at guard school.
Yeah.
And after that was when I started my detail with Bitterroot. And I was there for my first season.
Bitterroot Hot Shots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, it's I think at least from where I kind of heard about you was like from like folks that knew you from Bitterroot and were like you had some serious street cred, and then you know I think in dispatch is where. Did you know Graham before dispatch?
Yeah, he filled with us my first season. He went to California with us. Oh,
gotcha. Because he was the one who was like, man, Ivy's legit. And I was like,
yeah.
Really? I was like, oh, cool, man. And then all of a sudden you're in Steve. I'm like, oh my God, this is the Ivy I've been hearing about. You know, so I was pretty pumped to meet you.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got some good street cred, and like from at least what I heard from like him and a few other folks that just kick some ass with the shots, and people are pumped to work with you. And I see why. I'm working with you right now, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. So that motivation that you got like back in the park days, I mean, that really like sent you on a great path, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Just like going to Job Corps like really changed my life. It's like I don't know. It's just crazy how it all worked out. Everything just fell perfectly, and
Yeah.
just
It's so cool to see that. Like there was like a skeleton crew of students when I was there. I was doing the natural resource instructor, and which was cool, except for I didn't really have many students, so I was like looking for like what do you call it? Not field trip. I was looking for like field trip opportunities and stuff, looking at like the peel trees and all the kind of like historical stuff in the Bitterroot. And so I didn't really have much for students, but that's why I was hoping for someone like you to come around that I could be like, hey, want to be a smoke jumper? Not that I can like hook you up really, but like I can kind of help guide you in the right direction, And I had such a good time that I'm always like trying to spread the love. But I think like to loop back to like rappelling, I do think it's not talked about as much. Like people know about it, but it doesn't seem to be. I don't know what it is. You don't hear about it until you like need them or something, And they're like, oh, cool propellers, come on in, like. And when I jumped to fire and they already sent repellers my way, and like, you still want them? I was like, yeah, I want them, and it was cool, and it was Galton, and one of my buddies, Shooty, was on there, and so it was super cool to like catch back up with him. And how long you been in the fire world now?
This would be my third season.
Third season? Oh, yeah, so you're getting about the point where you work with a few folks, and you start running into more and more on fires, and then you get like 5+, and you start running a bunch of folks on fire and start working on single restars, and it's like all your homies that you're hanging out with all the time. It's super cool. So I kind of miss that part of fire.
Yeah.
So when you transferred from Centennial Job Corps to Trapper, is Trapper considered West Fork?
Yeah.
Oh, it's up to West Fork.
Yeah, it's up the West Fork,
Yeah.
but it's not like a part of their district.
No, yeah, and they, like when they fly jobs, usually through Darby, so I was always getting confused.
Yeah.
But so you're just like, hey, this boat's sunk. Like this isn't gonna be a place anymore. Can I come hang out with you guys? Like for when you transfer to Trapper?
Oh, like from Centennial?
Yeah, how'd that work? Do you have like your pick or how?
Well, when I was at Centennial, and like I heard about the closure, I got in contact with Justin, and I sent him I wrote out a cover letter for him and gave him my resume.
Oh really?
And like actually on the cover letter, I was like, someday I want to be a hot shot, and I didn't even really know what that was at the time. I just knew that they were like the coolest. I was like, someday I want to be a hot shot.
Yeah, it sounded cool.
Yeah, and so I had sent him that resume, and they got me transferred over. I was one of the first students I got transferred over from Centennial, like just in time. It was like the day before guard school.
Oh really?
I got here, so I was like living like right near Boise, and then all of a sudden I'm in the middle of nowhere in Montana. It feels like I'm like, where am I?
Oh yeah, I mean that place gets like dark at night. I mean, besides the center lights, like there's not much other going on outside the center. Like in that little tight canyon and the river, and it's super cool.
It is super cool.
Yeah, I really liked it. But you were in good shape then, though, huh? For guard school starting off, you're already like been working out, ready to go.
Yeah, I was working out a ton, and like mostly running. I didn't really know how to work out at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really in shape for guard school, and I like crushed it, and I like took advice from a bunch of firefighters. They're like, memorize your 10 and 18. So like I had all that
smart.
dialed, and I was like, I feel like I really impressed like Justin and Danny, because they were both working there, and
which is really good though, because those guys are like the best of the best. Danny's sick right now, but like I mean that guy was a hard charger. I mean he's a legend.
Danny's awesome.
He is
I
awesome.
love Danny.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. Oh my God. I mean I never even like worked for the guy and wasn't like a student or anything of him, but like he came and gave a speech at one of the graduations I was at for some of his students, and my like. Good Lord, I was just like fired up with him. I was like, wow. I mean, that guy's he's a great speaker,
He is. He would every morning we would have like little fired ups, and he would like put on a board like a question or something, and we would just like all like answer the question but he would just get us pumped up every morning. He'd get us so excited to work.
Just bringing the energy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was great.
Yeah, and he's one of the rare people that I'd heard about before I went to the Job Corps, and even like I met him even like when he was starting to kind of decline a little bit in all his ailments, and he was still like, man, lived up to it. Like a lot of times, like especially in fire, there's a lot of hype, and then you meet somebody like, yeah. I mean, I see what they're saying, but like it's I don't know, maybe I just built up too much in my own brain. But when I met him, I was like, yep, yeah, this guy's the man. Like, he's tough as nails.
He is,
especially what he's going through. Like man, I need to call him and check back in. But I'm kind of jealous though that you were able to like work for him for a little while.
It was crazy how it worked out too. So. Well, okay, so after I went through guard school, I think we had like a few days of S212 and stuff, just introduction classes.
Yeah.
So that Friday, I was at the end of the week, and Justin was like, "So I see on your resume like you want to be a hot shot someday." I'm like, "Yeah, someday I'd love to." And then he was like, "All right, I want you to write down some questions that you would ask like a hot shot. I have an old hot shot buddy. He's going to be in on Monday, so write down some questions and think of some things to ask him, talk to him about being a hot shot." And I was like, "All right."
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so on Monday, I was like so stoked. I'm like, "I got to meet a hot shot."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I go in the office, and it's the soup of Bitterroot.
Oh,
And I had
jeez.
no idea who he was, but so I was just
Yeah.
talking
was
to
it
him.
Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It was Jay.
Like, no big deal. Just the soup showing up. Like,
And Jay and Justin are like best buds. They were on the crew together like back in the day.
yeah.
But so I'm talking to him just for a while, and he was like, the end of our conversation, he was like, "Well, when can you start?"
Oh,
I was
really?
like, "Today." And I
Yeah.
got in his truck and we left, and that was my first day of criticals.
No
And
way.
yeah,
That's super cool. Like,
it was crazy.
it's like something out of a movie. Like, yeah, I mean, I start today and takes you off, and you go right to criticals.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, the next day he was like, "Pack your stuff." And then I moved into the bunkhouses, and I was like, I was just in it at
That's
that
so
point.
cool. Was it like, I mean, how, like, the shape, 'cause criticals, most of the hot shots are kind of known for having tough criticals, like physically. Was it, I mean, were you there, like, PT wise? Like,
PT wise, hiking was really hard for me. I never hiked before, but
oh, this is still in those days when you hadn't quite been hiking that much yet.
no, yeah, because I was in Idaho, and I don't know, I just didn't really have the chance. And so, yeah, my
Yeah.
first day of criticals was, or the second day, so the day after, second day I was there,
Yeah.
we were out thinning all day. We like packed full gear and everything, and I had never ran a chainsaw all day before, and
Yeah, yeah.
I just went through S212, so my squatty, he has to like watch me the entire time. I wasn't even like an A faller yet.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was just, every time I tanked the saw, I was just like, oh, and I would like chug a quart of water and be like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Keep going. And then it was like the first PT hike I went on, because so like after we were done thinning, we just like chopped up our saws and we're hiking. We have our dolmars, we just drop them all in the truck, and then we just start going up this mountain so fast. And I was like so confused. Like,
Yeah.
it was never like, hey, we're going for a hike. It was just like we started running up
No one
this
said
mountain.
anything?
No,
He's
we
like,
just
"We're going."
go. And I was like, is there a fire up there? I was so confused. But yeah, I just never hiked with the saw or anything before. And I was just, anytime it got relatively flat, because I was falling out hard, but every time
Yeah.
it got relatively flat, I was just running as fast as I could.
To catch back up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. Were they yelling, like, close the gap or anything?
No, I had my
Oh, good.
a squatty behind me though, and he was like, "Yeah, get it." He
Really?
was just like pumping me up. I was like, "I got this."
That's so cool.
But, so I definitely wasn't in like, I like eventually I got into like good enough shape to be able to hang, but I think just
Yeah.
showing them that I would willing to push
Yeah,
myself.
gut
and
it out, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they were like, "All right, you can hang.
That's
You can be
cool.
with us." But
Yeah, you got some grit for sure because, like, I mean, just having that street cred with them a little bit too, and like, or that I heard about, and then being like showing that. And I guess what I'm trying to say too is like, usually if like someone's kind of falling out, they're just like over. So like for you to like not just weaken and stay back there and like catch back up whenever you could, that shows a lot. So that's huge. But I guess I knew you were tough because I heard about it, so I'm not too surprised. I don't know if that's a spider or we'll just ignore that guy. It's kind of close to Halloween.
But to close the loop though,
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
started talking about that was because then, so Jay detailed out and he was working at Stevensville that season. So
Oh.
Danny, he filled in as our soup.
Oh.
So he was actually, I got to work with him a lot that season. It was
Oh,
really cool.
that's cool.
We went to Alaska together.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah.
How'd you like Alaska?
It was cool. I guess we were on like a princess fire. Like it was pretty chill.
Well, those ones you
but-
want,
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it was a great time.
Yeah, did you go like anywhere? I mean, does anything like stick out to you, like Kenai, like, or were you like, I'm trying to think where I was actually, like Bethel or Bettles or any of that like stuff.
I
You're
wish.
just along for the ride.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
along for the ride. It was on like the Clatina River, and it was really
Oh.
beautiful.
That sounds amazing. I don't know.
But-
I don't know where that is. So like,
Somewhere in Alaska.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could keep listing stuff off and like I know what I'm talking about. But those are just the places I've been. So Alaska's huge.
Yeah. But it was a good time.
Yeah, man, that was great. What a great start into like the fire world. Are you thinking about sticking it out then in the fire world, like maybe get in the repeller world and give that a go for a while, or what's your plan?
For sure. I think this is what I want to do long term. I'm not sure yet what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about the apprenticeship. Just be able to check it all out. But
Yeah, apprenticeship is awesome that way.
yeah,
Because I guess explain it. I don't really know because I haven't gone through it. So you get the apprenticeship has like I guess the apprenticeship it's for fire, right? So like it has like a bunch of different options because like you said, aviation needs to be one for your apprenticeship. Like you have boxes to check, I guess.
yeah,
And so aviation, crew, engine, and am I missing? Oh, dispatch, right?
yeah, dispatch.
Yeah.
And there's just like a bunch of classes you have to take, but
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, that pretty much covers. There's just and prevention, like there's just like
Oh, yeah,
different
prevention. Yeah,
hours
yeah,
you
yeah.
hit on all of them, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
but I don't know. I really love my crew, and I want to come back to them someday. But I'm like, I just got to see what all is out there first. Then I want to come back.
Come back to Trapper.
Back to Bitterroot.
Oh, back to Bitterroot Hot Shots. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that'd be, especially like with what what they have and probably what they're building towards. Like it's I really like Bitterroot a lot. I haven't worked with too many crews as of like lately, but I mean they're awesome. A bunch of my buddies are there. So makes it easy for me whenever I see them. It's like kind of like a little reunion.
Yeah.
I didn't really know Cash that well. I've worked with him a couple times, but I've been like just kind of bumping into him a little bit more, especially since my official position's down in Sula. So I burned with him a bunch this spring and just been kind of running into him all season, and he's awesome. I didn't realize I'm older than him, so I kind of made me feel bad. Like he's killing it in his career, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm older than you. Like, man, I need to work on a few things.
He is killing it. Cash is awesome.
He was awesome. I guess he's got a really cool YouTube like boarding video where he like was doing some backcountry like boarding,
What?
snowboarding, yeah, and skiing.
Oh, I follow him on Instagram, and he posts some crazy stuff on there. But
Oh man, I
check
got
out his YouTube.
I gotta step my Instagram game because I didn't even think to even add. I don't like. I'm really bad at the social media thing. I gotta start working on that because it's a good point. I gotta start creeping on more people. I guess. Cash, be my friend.
Yeah, Cash will be your friend.
Yeah, he's so nice, just super chill. Like I was gonna ride my motorcycle down to Sula this year, and he like kind of pulled me aside. He's like, "Man, there's a lot of animals between here and there," and he's like, especially Darby to Sula is really gnarly. So he's like, I mean, I just don't recommend it or something. It's like super chill. And I was like, I appreciate that, Cash, and I'm not gonna do it. Like it's just like really sincere. You know? So you got dispatch checked off, crew. Now you just have is aviation the only one you have left then?
Yeah, I'm doing my engine time right now.
Oh yeah, engine, yeah, with me, kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, aviation's next.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough year to be on engines just because it's just not a lot going on in our forest. But
Yeah.
I mean, daily stuff, you get the gist of it, And nice thing is, I don't think engines change too much. I mean, it's just kind of like following the plumbing and being able to draft and just kind of know where you can maneuver one and put it somewhere safely and get the best use out of it. So then that'll hang with you, if you ever come back to a district down the road. But
Yeah. That was like a big appeal for me is just coming and seeing what district life was like.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't experienced it yet. And I knew I probably wasn't going to get much engine experience, but I'm like, I just thought it'd be cool just to see what it's all about.
Yeah, totally. And like, I mean, Steve has always been a pretty good place to work. Just like for the people, the crew. I don't know if it's just like the spillover from Missoula or something, but there always seems to be like a really good group of folks that work in Steve I, and just fun to be around all summer. Which is good because like, especially on the district, sometimes if you're around each other too much, it's like start kind of getting at each other. Like, tired of the way you eat food. I guess the hot shots can be kind of the same way. Stuck in a buggy with somebody, for long periods of time. So.
Yeah. I'm sick of smelling your farts.
Yeah, especially like stacked in with them. You're like, oh god. I could see that being kind of rough. The Great Northern had buggies when I was with them, and it wasn't bad, but I think I got used to the smell. So it was just like I was part of it. So I was like,
just go nose blind.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, it happened kind of right away for me. But so smoke jumping maybe later on is what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep bugging you about it, but yeah. I mean, I think long-term wise, I think I mean, you can say it either way because I don't know how you'd be on a parachute, but like, to me, like there's odds of like having a pretty hard landing that could hurt a little bit more of parachute versus like rappelling. When you're controlling your speed, hitting the ground, and as long as the helicopter's all good, like should be all good. And then you get like a bunch of different experience because you're in like I experience with rappelling and rappelling in really cool areas typically, and then helitech experience too, so kind of get like dual experience with the rappel ship and typically a lot of hours because of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to just work with helicopters more.
Yeah. I still think you should jump, but I think that's a really good path. And it was funny because like when I was detailed to the district back in 2016, my friend Mike King, who was on Bitterroot for a long time, Bitterroot Shots, and with all the new folks that like gather them around for like this talk, and like, listen, for the future of Forest Service and stuff, recommend you go helicopters, because like at the time it looked like I think the Black Hawk was being talked about more, that like military helicopter that's the beast, can carry a bunch of folks, and they were talking about rappelling out of it, and I don't know whatever happened about that, and maybe that's just a nonsense rumor I heard, but it's like, man, that'd be super cool to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then God, I almost forgot. Helicopters reminded me of helicopter, like heli logging, and you were a logger for a while too.
Yeah. I was logging all last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, just in the off season, like, or?
No, I actually took last season off from fire. Yeah, I had some like personal stuff I had to take care of. I had to stay in Arizona, but my grandpa, he had like a little logging outfit over there on the White Mountain Apache Reservation.
Oh,
There's
cool.
just beautiful country over there. So
yeah, it is.
It was cool to be able to like work with my grandpa, especially, and he's a great timber faller, and he used to fall for helicopters up in Idaho. But
probably one of the best. I mean, they just have so much experience, and falling big timber too.
Yeah, he's a great timber faller, and it was really cool to be able to work with him because he's a 6th generation logger.
Holy cow!
And none of his kids really had an interest in it. My uncle, he was driving truck for us for a while.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it was cool. He was just like, I never thought my granddaughter of all people was going to be out here in the woods with me.
That is so cool to be able to share that. So like if he's 6th generation, I guess he'd be like, would he be 8 kind of? I mean, even though your dad didn't do it,
yeah, I guess it kind of skipped a generation. I feel like I'd be 8th.
Yeah, you should be 8, but I don't know if they count as 7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not up on my generation counting, but the picture I saw was just awesome. You were in like I don't know, Feller Buncher. What were you in?
Oh, in a loader.
A loader? Is that what it was?
Wait, which picture?
It was a picture you were in like some excavator looking like Feller Buncher thing, like
Oh. I operated the loader a lot of the time.
Must have been the loader. Yeah.
Sometimes the skidder.
Little claw on it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I thought that was a Feller Buncher. I was like, I don't really know my logging, equipment too well, but that's what it kind of looked like to me. But that thing looked gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was like a big old truck mounted loader, and we just had like a real small operation, and we had like 1 or 2 guys falling timber. And me and my grandpa, whenever we needed them to catch up, we would go out there and fall timber and just get a bunch of logs on the ground. And
really?
Then my grandpa, he would skid them all into the landing, and I was the landing manager, he called me. So I would be up on the loader, he'd pull in some logs, and I'd flip them so I could see all the limbs and everything and lay them out.
Yeah.
Then I'd run down, I'd jump off, get my chainsaw, and limb them all up real nice, make sure they're cut to length, and run up there, then stack them on the deck, and then just keep doing that over.
Holy cow, you must have been super fit. Like, that sounds like a ton of work.
It was fun.
God, that's awesome.
Time just like flew by, but
I bet, and like hustling for like a family business, you probably at least for me, I'd be putting a little more effort in,
Yeah.
Like, that's super cool. Did you learn some tips from your grandpa then with falling trees and stuff then?
Yeah, he taught me a bunch of, say, not Forest Service approved ways of falling timber, but
probably more efficient.
Yeah, more efficient, a little less safe, but yeah.
Well, he's still alive, so he's got all his limbs, right?
Yeah,
So it's been working,
One of the guys out there too, he was a really good timber faller. He was Apache, and he didn't speak any English.
Really?
Yeah, and so we couldn't really communicate that well, like verbally, but he taught me a lot just by like showing me, and he would like walk me through some trees, and it was pretty cool. Just we couldn't communicate at all, but we like totally knew what we were doing.
Yeah. I imagine you kind of almost get like your own language after working together for a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of had similar experience, except for I could speak a tiny bit of Spanish, but I was doing like concrete and like working with some Mexicans, and they were good workers and really nice guys, and I, like whatever broken Spanish I had from high school I was trying to use, and I could see them just like shaking their head at me. I'm like, I know, it's bad. But like, so it's a little easier that way. I guess I kind of spoke the language, kind of understand it, but Man, that's really cool. I don't think. Do you speak Apache then?
No, I can say thank you.
You can say thank you.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, that's more than me though. That's super cool. What do you like say like Apache stuff to you, like in stuff in Apache, like or just like you guys kind of communicate with just like hand movements or?
he would talk in Apache a lot, but we would just mostly communicate by movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. I bet it'd be kind of a tough language to like pick up. You know.
Yeah.
Because it's to me just I don't know what I guess, but it doesn't seem like it'd have like any kind of connection to anything else I'd ever heard. You know.
Yeah.
Where it seems like other languages have kind of similarities. I think.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting language. Couldn't catch on to it.
Yeah. Dang, that's super cool. And then, so when you're saying you're cutting the logs to length, did you just eyeball them or how'd you know?
With a little logger tape,
Oh,
and we would like mark it with electric tape, like the lengths that the mill wanted us to cut them to.
yeah.
So, yeah, usually like whenever after you like fall the tree, you're limbing it up as best you can and cutting it to the different lengths for the skidder to be able to pull it in, but you can't get all the limbs, so that's what the landing manager does. That was my job, to get all those hidden limbs, and sometimes like I don't know if the tree was like covered and they couldn't cut it to length, then that would be me. I would be cut it to length there at the landing. And
Oh, cool.
I got real good at running that loader though. I was fast on it, and I could, if I had a bad log or like the top of a tree I didn't want, I like figured how to swing it and then chuck it. I could chuck it really far into the woods. It was fun.
That is awesome. Yeah, I bet. God, that'd be cool. Kind of trying to like beat your last like distance or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'd be doing, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And then, God, I was gonna ask you another question, but then in the back of my brain, I keep thinking you said you had a good story. So like, I keep thinking about your story, but God, I had another logging question about. What lengths logs do you remember? Like what lengths you were looking for the mill?
Yeah, the best length you could get was a 33.
Oh,
33 foot. Yeah.
Jeez, that's a big log.
And there was a bunch of big pondies out there. That's mostly what we were cutting, but some of them you could get 333s out of them, and they were
333s out of a ponderosa?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of different lengths, like 16.6 and but yeah, 33s were the money. Just makes it easier to be able to load them onto the trucks.
Oh, I bet.
If you have a bunch of big logs that are the same length.
Yeah, jeez. That deviation on that bottom one was probably pretty hefty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you get 333s out of there, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then was your really cool story or no wild story? I don't know how you described it, but is it logging related?
Wait, which wild story?
You said you had a really good story for me, and I don't know if it was logging. Maybe it wasn't logging. For some reason, my brain connected to logging when we were talking today. When I was heading out from work.
Oh.
Was it fire related? You said you had a really good story.
I don't know why I'm totally blanking. I can't think of my cool story.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably come to you like right after we like shut it off. Maybe it's because I'm putting you on the spot. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't think. I got a bunch of cool stories.
Yeah. I mean, share them whenever. So then you took the year off logging, and then you got the apprenticeship at Trapper then?
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then did you apply, or like, how'd that work? And did you talk to like Will and the fellows, or like, how'd you get that in motion, I guess?
Yeah, I applied for the apprenticeship, and I started in May this year. But yeah, I just stayed in contact with Will and some of the guys over there. They knew I was really interested.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be able to come back and just be able to work at Trapper and work with the students. I feel like I can relate to them so much because I was just like them. And
yeah. Well, just like Danny, right? You know, you can like talk to him and like live it. I remember like the handful of students over there when I was there, they're like, talking about how much of an inspiration he is because he was in everybody's shoes, like just like you're in the student's shoes. So you kind of know the struggles and maybe the pitfalls too, right?
Yeah.
Because, there was a few students that didn't make it when I was there and, on their own doing, like got caught with something or whatever they're doing, so it was like kind of a bum deal,
Yeah.
So, but then, so you applied for the apprenticeship, got the apprenticeship, and then did you have to spend any time, did you go through guard school again? Or not guard school, refresher at Trapper?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I did that, and then we went through guard school with all the students. You got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And then we put together a crew not too long after and got to go on a few rolls, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But
and then you went to dispatch after that?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, then I came over to dispatch, then hopped over Stevensville like immediately after.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like I like knew you were gone, so I was talking to Graham a bunch, and then I didn't know where you went, and I just didn't really think anything of it. All of a sudden, like, bam, you're there at briefing one morning. I was like, oh shoot, hey, Ivy, I've heard a lot about you. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really worked out.
Yeah, you've been getting to do some cutting with Stevensville folks then.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of saw experience, more than engine experience, I'd say. But it's been cool.
Yeah, it's been pretty slow for Firewise for
Yeah.
us. Are you working towards B then? B faller?
I actually just got started the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Hey, cheers to that. That's
Heck
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big one to get, especially like going back to a shot crew or something, or anything, like IA, for jumping, for rappelling, and IA, anything, initial attack, I guess, at fire. It's nice to have a B faller, because otherwise, like, sometimes if you don't have someone who has a B faller, like, you don't just get in yours, then the overhead has to, like, try to, like, do both, like, either I see the fire and saw, or someone else has tried to do one of them, I guess, but better if the bee fallers, around to fall that tree, like especially like around here, get like a single tree, lightning strikes, and a lot of times you got to fall the tree, so
Yeah. For
which
sure.
would be tough. You got to IC it and fall the tree would be kind of tough. I mean, not impossible, but just kind of makes it kind of tougher to manage everything,
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and then do you have any awesome stories off the top of your head?
Awesome stories.
Yeah, you said you got some really good stories.
Oh, all right.
Nothing off the top of your head.
I don't know. I'm just still thinking about logging.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that like story you're telling. I should have asked you a little bit about it so I could have cued you on it. If I was like, oh, I gotta say this, because otherwise my curiosity would kick in, and I'd just start like trying to get the whole story out of you, and then I would forget about it now. So I gotta figure out a healthy balance for how my brain works, I guess. But any do you travel at all? Have you been anywhere? I guess like like typically it seems like a lot of fire folks seem to like travel. Like when I first would get in, Thailand was like the hot spot.
Yeah.
Do you do any of that?
A couple winters ago, I went to Mexico. I was there for a month and a half with one of my best friends.
Oh,
And
super
she does
cool.
fire too, but
yeah.
it was really cool. I had never like gone out of the country or like traveled before that, but
Yeah,
she kind of showed me the way.
that's
and
huge.
Yeah, but yeah, besides that, mostly just around in Arizona, but this winter I'm looking at just going somewhere that I can train all winter long, that's steep and has no snow, and it's just gonna be sunshiny and beautiful.
Sounds good. Maybe like Southern California or something.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Canary Islands right now.
Oh, hey, that'd be
Like,
really cool.
sweet spot.
I don't know anything about them. I just know the name.
Yeah, they're like part of Spain, but they're like over by like Africa, and
Oh, really?
they're really sweet. They have like a ton of mountains, and there's like 8 different islands, and I think
Oh,
it'd be
really
like
cool.
great just to spend a month there and like be able to train and get ready for rappelling.
Yeah, that's huge. And like, I mean, you really gotta do it while you're younger. Like, I kind of drag my feet on a lot of travel stuff, and I think I've been to Mexico and Canada and Hawaii. I mean, Hawaii's in the U.S., so I mean, I don't really count it as much, but like all those people are going to Thailand all the time, and I was like, yeah, I should go. But I guess I was always in school, so it makes it tougher.
Oh
But,
yeah.
yeah, Canary Islands would be awesome, and they got some pretty good like volcano type of mountains, like right, like built from volcanoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the name of that, but
Yeah.
that'd be cool. And then train some warm weather and get some. Do you surf?
I don't. I really want to learn how to surf though.
Might be a good spot. I don't know anything about the surf there, but
Yeah.
I mean, the ocean's there, so
yeah.
should be some surf, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I'll find some surf.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And Canary Islands, I just think like tropical birds, so hopefully there's that there,
Yeah.
And usually island food, like islands have great food, so
Mhm.
that'd be really nice.
Bunch of tropical fruits.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
I've discovered I'm a snowbird from a
Yeah,
young age. Yeah. I'm like,
Well,
I
good.
don't do the winters at all.
yeah. Texas and Arizona though, the warm,
Yeah.
and then coming up here, I think you're really gonna be in a winter sport. Like if I didn't play hockey and snowboard, I probably wouldn't be as into it, because basically then if you don't do those, then basically all you do is shovel.
Yeah.
That's like what you do in the winter. Like just wait for a snowstorm, and then I get mad and I go clear it out. But now I get excited when it snows. 'Cause I'm like, oh, powder days.
Yeah.
Do you snowboard or ski?
I've tried to. My friends tried to get me into snowboarding. I really like to skateboard.
Oh yeah, it should
And-
be like a natural, I think.
Snowboarding's cool. I just don't care for the snow.
Yeah,
I gotta go surf. I'm gonna go find somewhere to
Yeah,
surf.
you gotta surf. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like when I first learned, I was kind of self-taught. My brothers both surf, so they gave me like some over the phone instructions, and then I was renting this. God, I can't. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but I was just renting a big foamy from this guy. My brother could remember him because he was there for a few years. Just a local Hawaiian dude in Kauai. Uncle Benny or something. I can't remember what he called himself. But he's like, just don't break your neck. And I was like, what? Try not to. I didn't know it was like a thing, And so I went out and just got in a lot of people's way and was worried I was gonna like piss people off. But eventually I started like kind of watching the instructors teach people, and I caught on a little bit. But the break was really gentle. So I'm kind of hoping you get the same thing if you are able to surf in the Canary Islands. Like the beach at Honolulu Bay just kind of goes out forever. Like you'd be way out there and you're still like touching with your head above. So I think that kind of helps me that like beach break, to be a little more gentle maybe.
Yeah.
Because I went straight from that to Huntington Beach in California, and it's a little bit more of a quick break, I guess, kind of like the wave kind of turns over a little faster. It's not like the gentle like pick you up and go. It kind of like gets up and goes, and it just kept crashing me. Like I was having a hard time catching waves there. But yeah, I need to go maybe, go to like California or talk to, like August or some of the guys who surf the wave in Missoula.
Yeah.
You ever thought about trying that guy?
About surfing the wave?
Yeah, Brennan's wave in Missoula.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta do some practicing first.
Yeah,
Those guys seem legit. They know
do.
what they're doing.
But like, Nick off the shots in August, and I'm trying to think who else. I think one of the rec guys, I haven't actually totally met him yet here in Steve. I think they all surf the wave. And yeah, I gotta get some tips from them because I tried the wave and it just kept like spitting me out.
Really?
But it was awesome. Like the crew was cool. There's like this little island in the middle of the river, and it causes an eddy. So like when you get spit out from the wave, or you just get off the wave, you just swim to behind the island and catch that eddy, and then it's like a little sandy area too, and it usually kind of helps push you back in, and then there's like no current there, so you just kind of cruise up and get back on the island and wait your turn. And all these little kids were just killing it, and they're like, hey, it's your turn, you want to go? I was like, nah, keep going. Like I was like trying not to puke because I was just like paddling my ass off and I just couldn't catch the thing. So I'm guessing definitely all technique for me,
Yeah. Yeah, I like watching them. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Watching people ride the wave.
Yeah, it's really cool. Actually friends with one of the guys who used to have a surf shop there, so I'm trying to get him on here eventually. But yeah, I think hobbies definitely help you get through the winter, or going somewhere warm. That's definitely a big deal there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any you bring your girlfriend with you, or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, our plan is, we're gonna do a little road trip to Arizona, like go along the coast, and
Nice.
come down to Arizona and spend Christmas there, and then spend all of January hopefully up in the islands.
Oh, that should be awesome. You're just gonna bomb like straight out to straight to the coast from here, like Oregon, Washington, and then go.
Yeah, we're gonna go over to Portland, then over to the coast from there.
Oh, cool.
Just ride down.
Yeah, I've seen so many awesome pictures of like the coast over there in Oregon.
Yeah.
The Oregon coast, I guess. Like a story. I don't know if you've ever seen the Goonies, but like the story is like this kind of famous town from that movie.
Wait, is that where the Goonies was?
Yeah.
What?
Hopefully I'm saying that right now. But yeah. So like there's like this. I can't remember the rock in the movie, but there's like that cool rock that's out there in the ocean. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Only reason I know that is because my friends went there a couple years ago and proposed on the beach, I think.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure. I mean, he was there, but I think he proposed. And yeah, he's kind of telling me all about it. So it's a really cool spot.
Huh. I wonder if it's over by like Cannon Beach, the Haystack Rock that's like coming out of the water.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, from the pictures, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I've been through Oregon, but I don't think I've ever been to the coast. Like, usually fire assignments, and when I was working out of Washington, we cruised down, but it'd be like to Redding or something, so it was like more interior. And then I've been on the coast in California. Actually, some smoke jumpers in Redding surf. So, I mean, if you ever thought about doing that lifestyle, a little warmer,
Yeah.
And at least one of the guys, he said he'd get off work and he'd just like bomb out to the coast and go catch some waves and then cruise back. And
Really?
Go back to work the next day. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think it was Rick Rataj, a really nice guy, and I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool.
That does sound cool.
But it was just so hot there for me. I was like, I could be into it, but I mean, it was like 110 there, and
Oh, that sounds awesome.
yeah, it was. And then at the time, I guess they really changed some stuff, but the like suit up changing racks for the boosters, like the boosters, I guess another way to say like you're on assignment there, you're just like backfilling for them. And their suit up racks were like in this warehouse with both doors open to help you get a breeze. So the breeze is super hot. So like you're just getting this like a hot like furnace on you, and you're out there like just like changing. And they have a freezer so you can get frozen water bottles that I didn't know about the first time. So like I'm just like seeing everybody like put these cold or pulling cold waters out when we're in the plane. I'm just like in my little like area and like just trying to go to my happy place. I'm like, we're gonna be in the air soon. We're gonna be in the air soon. We're in the dornier or doorknob, and you gotta close the door on takeoff. Some of the other jump planes you don't. So I was like, why is the door shut? You know, like I was a rookie. I'm like, what is going on? It's so hot. Like I was starting to get a little panicky because it's kind of like tight in there, and I'm like just burning up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was rough there for a few minutes. I was having to have a lot of internal conversations to keep myself calm and go to zen out a little bit.
What a happy place.
Yeah, be happy. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. I luckily jumped to fire, so I was like, I've never been so happy to get out of a plane. I was like, just drenched.
Dang.
But really cool fire. You know, went to the Plumas and did all that stuff. So if you decide to change your mind on it, I didn't mean this podcast to be harassing you the whole time about smoke jumping, but it's just. You know, thinking about it after today and talking about it.
Yeah.
And seeing Tyler, you know, so Tyler kind of got me more fired up towards it.
How long did you jump for?
5 seasons. So 2013 to 2018.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm really glad I got to be there because I got to jump around, which I don't think anyone really jumps anymore. There might be a handful of round jumpers left. And then Ram Air had just like came to be, and I think it was Tyler Ware's class, I think, was the first Ram Air class for the Forest Service. Like the BLM was already jumping at Alaska and Boise. So they were already jumping the Ram Air, and they had been since like the 80s, I think. So they kind of helped come train, and I think, I'm not sure if they came and helped the rookie class, but they'd come help with the Ram Air transition for the round jumpers to go transition. And so I got to be a part of that. And then the DC-3 was there, which is this cool iconic plane from World War II, and so that was cool to get a couple jumps out of that sucker. And
dang.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped. And then and then I just got like a bunch of cool jumps. So I you know, when I left, it was partly because of my Crohn's, you know. So like, but I was fulfilled. Like I had a really, really good 5 seasons there jumping, and I got to go on some details and got to crew boss for the Great Northern in that time. And so like had a lot of good experiences. Got to jump my hometown and jump the Bob Marshall and
Whoa.
Alaska. Yeah, so that was super cool. God, Alaska was so smoky though. I got to see so much of it, but not really. Like I had to fly over a lot of it, but I couldn't really see a whole lot, you know?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I was in the pretty spot where you got to go, you know?
Yeah. Somewhere in the smoke.
So yeah, somewhere in the smoke. Yeah, we flew by Mount McKinley or Denali, or I don't know what they're calling it. I think it was back to McKinley, but I don't know. The big mountain there in Alaska. We flew by it like 3 or 4 times. Never saw it.
Dang.
It was so smoky. I never saw it once.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the last on the flight back, and I probably smelled horrible. We were out in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, and for like over 3 weeks, and I was just like swimming in this like mud puddle of a lake, and like, you know, to try to kind of like rinse off before we got picked up, and using my Thermarest as a little mattress, as a little floaty, and that was like the only kind of like bathing I had gotten in like over 3 weeks. And it's like, I got this plane, and you know, like tight quarters. I couldn't smell me because I'd been around me, and like this poor not little girl, this poor girl pilot. She was like my age, you know, like, and she was like pointing out cool things about Alaska, and I felt like my breath had to be horrible. I had to smell just horrible, and she just, you know, I'm in my yellow, and it was rough. And she's like, well, there's the park, and there's this, and look at that moose, and I'm just like, that's awesome. But I'm like trying to yell at the windows. I'm not like breathing fire on her. And she's a super nice gal. But you know, so it's like cool stories like that. They you know kind of stick with you a little bit.
Yeah. You make it sound like so much fun.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to tempt you a little bit. But you're pretty young. I mean, like, so you got a long career. I didn't jump till I was like 27. So what are you, 20?
25.
25. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 years.
Yeah. I'll jump in 2 years.
Yeah. We got some time to think about it too, like if you want to. I mean, I know like you've been talking to, Matt Mai a little bit, and he's pretty persuasive too, so maybe he'll talk you into it too. But I think your glide path's pretty good though. Like I think rappelling would be good. And my rookie bro is a rappeller, and he had a lot of fire experience, but he seemed like he procedurally, like, with the suit ups and like in the plane procedures and the tower and all the stuff we had to do, and I mean rappelling out of the tower too, like he seemed like he was like, I mean maybe just more smooth in general, but he seemed like he could pick it up a little quicker and was a little more smooth with all that stuff versus me, who was just like a robot trying to get everything like figured out, and they even told me the first couple hours, like, if you can't figure this out, Barrett, you're not gonna make it. I'm like, I'm just trying to get the harness on. Oh, I was dead. I had to put on a little bit of not overtime, but extra time. I had to put in some extra time. Luckily, the contractor was super nice, and they'd come hang out with us in the loft and help us run through the suit ups. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have made it. Need a little extra time to work things out in my brain, I guess. But I didn't ask you. I mean, Gallatin was one of your choices. Did you have any other rappel bases you were thinking about?
Price Valley.
Oh, Price Valley. That's kind of down by McCall, right? Idaho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested in going over there.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we had a apprentice that went down there. A gal named Rachel. Yeah. And I got to work with her for just a small period of time, but she was like super cool, really nice. And then one of my buddies, Dustin, used to rappel out of there. I'm not sure if he still does. And then another of my old friends jumped out of there for a long time and landed in Bowery, I think. No, landed. Oh, I don't know. Landon. He rappelled out a long time. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in years, but he loved it. I mean, he did it for a long time. So yeah, I guess I haven't seen him in a long time. So I mean, hopefully he loved it. I guess may have left there.
Yeah, Rachel seems really cool. I've heard a lot about her, and so I found her and I've been talking to her, just asking for some advice and what she thinks about Price Valley. And I don't know, she's really selling me on it. She makes it sound like a really good program.
Cool. So she's still down there then, hey?
Yeah, she's detailing with Boise this year.
Oh, Boise.
Shots.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, but she's still with them. And she really likes it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And that's awesome that you reached out. Like, I don't think enough people really do that. And that's cool that she like hit you back and was like, yeah, check it out. And especially since she came from the apprenticeship too. Yeah.
She's the one that inspired me, like my first season of fire, because she came and she was like teaching at my guard school. And I never really talked to her, but I knew she was an apprentice and and then later I heard that she went to rappel for her apprenticeship, and I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. Like, I want to get the apprenticeship and I want to rappel. Like, that sounds super cool. But yeah, just telling everyone about wanting to rappel, they're like, oh, you got to talk to Rachel. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So she's super nice.
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
is.
Any questions you have, she's like, just ask. All right.
That's really cool. Yeah, like just the family nature of fire, is really cool. Like all levels, like structure fire, wildland, and all that good stuff. That's awesome. So did you apply for price? Or how does it work? I guess do you just can you pick that and just tell them that you're an apprentice?
Yeah, I've just been talking to them just about detailing. I think it'd be kind of like an unofficial detail. Like, I would just kind of be over there. Yeah. But
because it's through the apprenticeships, you don't have to do the official. Because it's part of your requirement, right, to do the aviation thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and my supervisor, he said basically that they could keep me for the entire season if they wanted to.
Oh, really?
Like, I only need 240 hours or something like that. But he said I could stay committed to them for the entire season.
Oh, so that'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I get to see some cool country, and because that's what Rachel did, right? Like, she did her. How many days again? You said.
How many?
Yeah, you say you only have so many days that you're required to do or something, right?
Yeah, it's 240 hours.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, hours.
It's the requirement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'd be cool to be able to stick with them for a whole season. I think she was there she did the apprenticeship. She did 2 years with them for her apprenticeship. I'm not sure how that worked out.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Guess really good worker, and I don't know. I mean, district didn't really need her back real bad. I don't know.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That was really cool. I'm glad that was able to work out, like that, she was able to, especially because then right? That if you spend 2 seasons with 2 years, 2 seasons with a group, you probably are into it and want to stick around. Like sometimes, like they call it the honeymoon phase when you're there for a season and it's just like everything's awesome, and whether it's luck or whatever it might be, and then if you go back to second season and your kind of expectations a little high maybe, and you might not like it as much. But I think like with rappelling and like I don't know, smoke is probably similar. Like it doesn't seem to be as bad because it's so different. Like you're not, and you go to different places all the time, I guess. So I'm trying to say, like, and you'll have the opportunity to go to a large fire, I think, with Price Valley, and then also IA, like for rappelling, and get to go to a bunch of different areas, like follow the medium around for a bit, and then stay at home and do some, IA response. And I think they cycle through. I'm not exactly sure how that works because I never rappelled, but I think that's how some of the bigger bases do it,
Yeah.
And Gallatin's being a little smaller, so not sure. But yeah, I think Price Valley would be a good spot to be, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm honestly like not completely sure how all of that works either. I'm just going to be along for the ride. I'm like
yeah, that's the way to approach it though, just going with like an open mind and just kind of ride the wave and see what happens, I guess.
Ride the wave, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess like one more last question before I let you go, because I don't want to keep you too late. I mean, it's already 8:25.
Oh.
So, jeez.
Flew by.
It really did, yeah. I mean, we're 55 minutes in.
Nice.
Yeah, so the camper life, are you dragging it with you along the coast then?
Yeah, that's the plan. To take it with me. I think it'll make like camping a little bit trickier having it with me. Just like camping on my car is like really easy. I feel like I can like park pretty much anywhere and just sleep in my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna try it just because my girlfriend's coming with me, and I'm like, it'll be nice just like have a little bit of extra space. And I'm just hoping it's not too snowy before I try to leave. Like, I'm not a big snow driver, but then to be pulling a trailer in the snow, I'm like, oh, hello.
Yeah. Just go a little slower and you'll be all right. Yeah, and definitely, with a partner, like having extra space definitely helps because, me and my wife have been traveling all over and did the car thing. Like we pulled her horse was in Illinois, and we went the horse trailer down there with my folks' horse trailer, picked up the horse, came back, and you can't stay in a hotel really with a horse because, he'd just be out there by himself. So we crashed in the back of the truck, and it's a crew cab, but it was snug. And then we also have our dog, our Labrador. So he was like, me, her, the dog, just like stacked in there, and I was just like, oh god. And like, and I usually have to pee at least once or twice throughout the night, so I was like, long night of me holding it, but I got a little rest and it was a good time. And then like the snow and ice driving, like if you like stay slow and don't get too crazy with it, it should be all right. Me and actually, what ended up being three jumpers, we were trying to sail to the Bahamas. And it didn't work out. So this is the middle of winter, so it's like just January, I think.
Wait, what do you mean you tried to
sail? Well, we had my friend Bronson's sailboat, and it was a McGregor, and it's like swing keel, swing. God dang, I'm trying to think of the thing that steers it. Rudder, swing rudder. Whew. Glad we're winding this down because my brain's starting to turn to mush. So, and we had the thing loaded down, probably a little heavier than we should have, and we had this big plan to do like spearfishing. And start in Florida, do some spearfishing there, kind of figure it out. Because our friend Casey, who's pretty, at least to me, he's a damn good spearfisherman. So he was coaching us along, and he was actually like catching dinner for us a bunch when we were in Florida, waiting for the weather to break. Because the waves that were coming through, and we had an app so it could tell us like what weather was coming through, and it was like bigger waves than especially none of us really had experience. Like, I don't think any of us had ever been sailing on the ocean. It was just like around Lake Payette for those guys, and for me, like in Boy Scouts with a little tiny like dinghy thing. So it's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. People do it all the time. So like that was our overconfidence. So we finally get like a break in the weather, and the weather was off. Like it was supposed to be like, I think it was like, God, I'm trying to think what it was, like, 3 to 5 footers. Or was it like 1 to 3 footers with occasional 5 footer or something? I can't remember what it was, but it was like about half of what was like really what happening, I think, because like we ended up getting like 3 to 6 foot waves and like average or something like that. So more on the 6 foot side, I think, and it was just like breaking us apart. And like first we lost the rudder, And then I was holding on to, I think, Casey's ankles, like in this weather out in the ocean, and like with maybe a headlamp on. I don't even know if I even had a light. I just had his ankles, and he's out like behind the boat dragging in this rudder.
Oh my
And
god.
we had a lock washer and a lock nut, and somehow it's still all rattled loose. So then like we dropped sail, and we got the motor out. Keel's still down in the water, helping keep us upright, but also it had water ballast, so that helped keep us upright. So we're like, and I think we had enough gas to make it. So we're like, well, just keep motoring, you know, like. So, and our boat's so slow, you got to go south before you go north to the Bahamas, because it's really like right across where we're trying to go from where we're at in Florida. And I think it's only like 30 or 40 miles. So it's not even that like far, really. Like people do it in speedboats all the time. But we're in a slow, older sailboat. And eventually, like, we hit, and then like the tank for the engine is super tiny. So we're doing like hot fuels as we're going, because like it's the only thing keeping us like in the wave, right? Is this is motor, because we don't have a rudder anymore. So like me and Bronson would be like all twisted up in some weird like yoga poses, and they'd be like holding my leg, and I'd be like leaning over his body, and he'd be trying to keep us in the waves, you know, so that we didn't get capsized, and I'd be like filling up the motor. And it was gnarly, pitch black, you know, because
Oh my god.
we left it in the dark is what we read and what everyone told us to do, because then you get to the Bahamas in the first light of day, and then you have all day to like check in and get like safe portage. Otherwise, like if you get show up in the evening and you can't get like checked in, I don't know what you do. Just stay out in international waters or something maybe until you can get checked in, and like if a storm comes up, then we're off to sea. So you know that was our plan, to get there first thing in the morning. Then we got all day to check in. So we get, I don't know, we get a ways out there, and all of a sudden like we hear a noise. I think is what happened, like a loud like thud. Like something hit the bottom of the boat, like sound and feeling. And we have our little GPS, and it has like how fast we're going, and we go from like, well, let's say 6 miles per hour to like 1.9 or something, or like 1 point something. It's like, what happened? Like, we hit something way out here, you know? Like, and the GPS is telling us we're in like 800 feet of water. So it's like, I don't know what that was. So like, kind of freaked out a little bit, and then we so at this point we kind of figure out we're not gonna make it, especially like now we're going really slow. So then we gotta try to make it to shore, and or into portage, and like our GPS luckily shows us, and we had a map to show like where the next portage is, but it's a ways down in Florida. It ended up being Boca Raton, I think is where we came into. And by the time we're coming to Boca Raton, we're all pretty hammered, and from being out there in the ocean. And my buddy Bronson, like we're coming in, and like the breakers are there, and the waves are sending us like at the breakers and not into the inlet. And I'm like, well, this doesn't look good, you know. I'm just like, but I'm ready to ride it out at this point. I've gotten no sleep and had enough booze in me that I just got like, I'm here. And he Bronson just yells out, I read about this, boys. Like, you read about this? So he surfs us almost into the breakers, and then it pulls us back, and then he shoots the gap and puts us into the inlet, and then it all just chills. Like, we're in the inlet, you know, the breakers are doing their job, and there's no more like really waves.
Whoa.
And I was like, whoa, that was awesome.
Wow.
But then our stupid mast is still up, and there's a bridge, and the bridge has to open up to let us in. So, and our radio's broken, so we can't get a hold of this bridge. And we got a handheld that's locked, so we can't get like a hold of the bridge. And then finally, like after a couple of donuts, the guy just opens it up, and he had the intercom, and he's like, "Next time use your radio," or something, and like shamed us as we went by. I'm like, "We're sorry." And then sun's coming up at this point, like it's daylight. So we come into the port, and just enough awake and just enough sober to like look around, like mansions, like really nice boats. I'm like, and it's 3 dirt bags and this like beat up sailboat roll in. I'm like, oh god, you know, I'm too tired to care. And then this is Bronson's boat that we're in. So like me and Casey are kind of looking at each other and looking at Bronson, and Bronson like dives under deck, you know, below deck, and then comes back out with some goggles on, or like I don't really see the goggles. I think he just had them in his hand, and he just dives overboard. I'm like, oh, he's just ending it, I guess. You know? And then he comes right back up, though, or not right, but he comes back up a while later. Like, he'd been down there for a minute, and I was starting to get a little worried. And then he pops up, and he had the keel in his hands, because it's a swing keel, so he was able to take it off, and it had broken off, I guess. The only thing keeping it there was the rope. So he was able to undo the knot and bring it up, or maybe it's still attached to the rope. I don't remember. But either way, he brings up this keel that just like bent almost like a U, and like it was a metal piece, like a pretty thick metal shaft that had bent from just all the pressure and weight of the waves, I think.
Wow.
And, yeah,
so that's what the thud was?
That was the thud, yeah.
Dang.
And when when it made that thud, it hit the bottom of the boat. Luckily, it didn't puncture or anything, but there was a pretty good scratch in the bottom, like pretty good sized gash, and it was pinned sideways like this. The boat's going, like north south, and the keel is east west. And so that's why we slowed down all of a sudden. Like, it was like having a sea anchor out. We went from like cruising at whatever our top speed of 6 miles an hour are to like 1 mile an hour. And then it took us like all night to get back.
Dang.
Yeah, so nothing else to really do. So we're just riding out, and I think we were drinking rum. And just drink some more rum and just hang out.
Bunch of pirates.
We were pretending to be, for sure. But
that's wild.
yeah, shoot, I don't want to keep you too late. Yeah, Ivey, thanks for coming on. You got any social media or anything you want to blast out there?
I'm not really big on social media, honestly, but got an Instagram, I guess.
Yeah, throw it out there if you want anyone to follow you. I don't know.
I don't even remember. I don't even know what my name is on there.
Oh, you don't have to throw it out there if you don't want to then. But I don't know, maybe we come, like do another one of these later on if you'd like, and maybe like catch some folks up on the progress. And
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because especially when you get back to the Canary Islands. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely do one maybe this spring, and depending on where your path takes you, you might be getting ready for rookie training, and we could talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I mean, rookie training no matter what, right? It should be hopefully like either rappelling or jumping.
Yeah.
Looking like more like rappelling, but I'll still hope.
Jumping.
Yeah, eventually, Well, thanks. I really appreciate it, Ivey. Thanks for coming out and hanging out in my kind of dirty Airstream right now. It needs a little TLC still, but
I like it. It's cozy.
yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, thanks again for coming on, and I guess I'll see you probably bright and early in the morning too.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's cool talking to you.
Yeah, and for anyone who's digging this, please like and subscribe and help support the channel. Thanks, everybody.